Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to the United Stand. My name is Aaron, and I'm here with my two boys.
Yes, brother.
The legends.
Yes, brother. How are you?
Good, man. Good, man.
The weather's crazy out there, but you know.
I'm telling you, man. And of course, Said.
You know what, man? I'm still feeling that wrath from the Wolves, man. Wolves. I do not want to see them again, bro. Jimenez and Jota, man. I'm still dreaming about them, man. Them, man, they're causing us problems. And I'm sure, man, that Man United players, they don't want to see them kind of guys. But we'll get into that in a bit anyway.
Yeah, let's just touch quickly on the Wolves game before we get into the topics. That game, man. We were talking about, bouncing back and how important it was for us to bounce back and how it could have helped us to gain confidence to get into that top four. But does it look out of reach now for you? Yes or no?
You know what? I had zero expectations, to be fair. I was just going for the ride, the Ollie's at the wheel ride, and he did an incredible thing, and the team did incredible to get to where they are. But we have to put this in the context that we were doing well, the players were playing, and we were overplaying them. And I remember me and Saeed, we were talking about it on his channel, on your channel. We were talking about it, saying that the players are going to get fatigued because he's using the same 11, especially the same three in midfield and the same three up front, and how that was going to take his toll. But where did this begin? It began against the two injuries we had against PSG. I know every club gets injuries, but I'm just saying to you, in time when Ollie's coming, he's found a system straight away, a way of playing quickly, and then he accelerated that because the way he brought back the way how Man United play. So we have to put it in the context. Then we had 4 muscular injuries against Liverpool. Ever since then, things have not been the same. We've won games, we've lost games. It's not been the same, and we have to understand that. So I know a lot of people are panicking on social media. I know a lot of people are like saying, "Oh, Ollie," and I'm on flip-flop watch. I'm that guy. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you.
You want him out in December, man. I'm telling you.
Listen, I'm not about it. I said my report card on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is after 18 months. I'm going to give you my report card. Yeah. But obviously, of course, I would criticize the decision he makes. I would criticize the substitutions he would make. I would criticize the tactics that he might employ in certain games. But I only watched an hour of the game, bro, and the highlights because I was working. And what I seen is that United played a lot better than we did in the cup game. Of course we lost, so it hurts. Everything seems worse when we lose. Yeah. But I think we stick those chances away. It's a different game. I know that's if, but, and so. Yeah. But and then what we did is we gifted them goals. The 2 goals they had was a gift goals.
And it was against the run of play because we controlled everything, basically.
It's not even, to me, that can happen. Things can happen in the game where you can think that you're controlling the game. Yeah. The other teams can do that. We do that to teams where we sit back against, where we counter-attack. Yeah. So it's no shade on how Wolverhampton are playing or how they play. It's not about that. It's about, for me, the mental strength and having the strength to think, I'm a Man United player, I'm not going to be prone to these errors, I'm not going to make these mistakes. And I'm sorry to say, but Jones, Smalling, Ashley Young, usual suspects, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Don't get me started on Young, bro.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the game? Because shortly after the game, obviously, we spoke about the game, and I could really feel the disappointment in your voice.
Bro, I'm gutted, man. I was thinking to the point where I was thinking about people that don't watch football, man. They must sleep well, don't they? Yeah. You know what I'm saying, man? They got to that point, man. But for me, I do not want to see Wolves again, man. That next season, we got to play low block football. We got to play 10 men behind the ball. We got to do what they got to do because that's what they were doing. But they were doing it well. People are criticising them, But for me, Nuno's got to do that. That's the only way he's going to beat Man United. Because if they play against us 11v11, we can win them. We can absolutely thrash them apart. Yeah. But they had a plan. They know United dilly-dally around the football, slow place football, side passes. And get me. They have that. They knew we had that in them, and they knew. We haven't got a striker up there that's going to be clinical of. Lukaku, man, you got to be scoring. Jesse Lingard, you got to be scoring at that point.
That first chance, man.
That's what I'm saying to you, bro.
Instead of what was annoying me was he headed it straight onto the goalkeeper, 6-yard box. Just pick a corner. Do you know what I mean?
And then what happened? Ashley Young, man, don't get me started on this guy. This guy, how he was given a year contract is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. What is he doing? You've just been given a yellow card against McDean, notorious. 100 red cards. You know he's going to give you a second yellow. What does he do? He gives a cheap yellow free kick in the middle of the pitch. The guy's going nowhere, Jota. Absolutely nowhere. You've got cover behind you. What are you doing, man? Yeah. Absolutely ludicrous here.
And he's supposed to be our example because he's the captain. Do you know what I mean? He's supposed to lead by example.
And then from then on, man, we just look backwards. Wolves were just olaying us, man. Wolves Football Club, Ole Lane, Man United Football Club. It's an absolute disgrace. But for me, We just were, like Lodi said, we just weren't clinical enough. That's what I keep saying to us, and we'll probably get onto it in a minute, but we need to buy elite players that will score at one given opportunity. Elite players that will get the ball, scuff on the net, get the ball, receive it, move. Not players that's going to be hiding, man. We've got too many players in that Man United team here that are hiding, man. This is stand up, show your mentality here, and show who you are, man. Because we're Man United Football Club. We can't be carrying passes every game. We can't be carrying average footballers, man. We need to be ruthless and get the goal and move on, man. But we never. And that's it, man.
Yeah, onto the topics now. There's reports that we might be having 6 players, not 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, but 6 players leaving the club at the end of the season. There's talks of Darmian leaving, Ashley Young, Eric Bailly, Sanchez, Herrera, Mata, and Rojo. Now, do you think it's right, or do you think there should be other players leaving before those 6 leave?
Bro, the thing, I will just go back to what Saeed was saying as well before I answer your question. The things come in the context. Man United play low block under that guy. I will not mention his name, but you know who that guy I'm talking about. We play defensive low block football. Ollie's come and changed the style of play, playing us more high octane, more offensive, more running football. The players couldn't sustain it. The same thing I talked about before. The players were picking the same midfield and the same 3 up front. And then there was a system to them to play and a way of playing together, right? The training, what was happening in training was carried out in matches. That couldn't contain itself because you need a squad to be able to do that. So when the injuries come, you've got like for likes. We don't have like for likes. So, of course, 6 have to go. But the idea that for me, Jones and Smalling and Ashley Young are going to stay, and people like Herrera and Baye are going to be gone. I find that ludicrous, man. To me, Herrera, the idea that I'm seeing a lot of things on social media. Herrera might not be the best midfield player in the world. He might not be the elite of the elite, but he's the heartbeat of that team. He knows what it means for Man United. He understands. And honestly, on that hour I was watching, that hour of the match, because I was at work, that hour I was thinking, all of the time, the places where they were attacking us, they were attacking mainly on our right-hand side, with Jota taking that, on their left-hand side, on our right-hand side. Ashley Young, who was protecting in the games when we were doing who was protecting Ashley Young most of the time? Herrera. Herrera's been the guy who goes back into that defensive shape, and him and Ashley Young are working in cohesion to stop, to win the ball back and to free us to counter-attack. To me, Herrera will be a great loss, and it also shows how much of a joke and laughing stock we are as a Manchester United Football Club, how we have no structure. If there was a footballing director, if there was guys who knew about the football, it wasn't just Ed Woodward, Herrera would not be going. Herrera would have been signed up a long time ago. Nobody would have let his contract run down to this stage right now, where he's getting offer of 200,000 from PSG. And I'm sorry, but it's his last big contract. He's a family man. Man United don't want you. When they're not giving you that money, they don't value you as what you are to the team. You don't have to. Some people think we need to have the best players in each position. No, team doesn't work like that. You can't get 11 of the best players of the world in one team and have a team cohesion. You're going to have, in the team, in every team, Man United team that Ferguson built, you had workers, you had grafters, you had gifted guys. You had young players, you had experienced players, and then you had a couple of old players. So a build-up of a team, which delusional Twitter Man United fans are now. They don't have a clue. Listen, listen, I don't think he's asking for 200,000 a week. I think it's certain things about his agent. But when the offer's been offered, I don't know if you ever worked at a different organisation, but if you go and get offered another place, that's what you tell. When you say, hey, this are the place here, these are the companies offering me that amount of money, can you match that? Can we negotiate? I genuinely think Herrera last season, towards the end of the last season, should have been given a contract, maybe 130, 125. Something like that for the graft and the work, what he's worth on the pitch. Not that, but all the massive quality, right? You go and get me now, some of the guys, it's going to take another year or so for them to get used to English football, unless you get from the Premier League.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. So, listen, I'll ask you the question. Who would in the Premier League would be better than Herrera right now? With that amount of experience, in big games, right? Listen to me. No, listen to me. Yeah, yes, it's because if you play the game, you have to have some sort of experience. Like, for example, McTominay, where was his experience? He gives at the worst place, instead of shifting the ball and hoofing it across or getting it, who does he give it to? He gives it to a guy who's already been marked, Ashley Young, and Yoka then forces him to. That was a bad ball. You know what that is? That's inexperience. He did good things. He scored goals.
Played well.
That was an inexperienced pass, bro. You don't make a pass like that with a team that's counter-attacking you. You don't give the ball back to the halfway line, to your fullback, and you don't give him a ball like the hospital ball. Like he's going to have to fly into to win it. You don't, listen, but the ball wasn't, watch the sending off again. The ball is away from him. Ashley Young is stupid. He should be experienced. And where I agree with you, certain times experience works against you. You should know the Mike Dean, like you said, is the referee, and he's always willing to. He hates Man United. We know that Mike Dean hates Man United. Man United fans hate him. He goes and winks at the fans. He goes and literally approaches Man United fans. So I don't want to get to that, but to me, as somebody who watches and when I see the football, Herrera, under any manager, he's a player who gives 100%. He doesn't have to be the greatest technical footballer, but every time he gets his job done, and he's always there in the most momentous wins Man United have had. Herrera's been part of it. The only game I say he's not been part of it is PSG, because he was injured, right? But most monumental wins of Man United in the past 2 to 3 years, Herrera is in the heart of it. Herrera's man of the match. The only other player since De Gea got 4 player of the seasons. Who else got the player of the season? Herrera. So let's not build about it. I know some United fans think they want out. You might have a different opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. But the idea Herrera's being let go, and Jones and Smalling and Ashley Young is being kept, is shocking to me.
I agree with you, man. It's absolutely shocking that someone like, obviously, if he's been asking for 200,000 a week, I totally disagree. That's what I'm going on. I totally disagree, because he's going to.
That's a rumor, man. We don't know that's for certain.
That's what I'm saying. If it's true, I disagree, because he's going towards his 30 years. He's not a Spanish international. He's nowhere near the Spanish international team, so he shouldn't be asking for that kind of money. But on the other hand, if someone like him's going, if someone like Mata's going, and someone like Jones and Smalling and Ashley are still at the club. It's not right, man.
I'll agree to the point where the Nuruddin, I'll agree with this wholeheartedly. The board have absolutely shambles. The priorities are absolute shambles. Letting people like Andy Herrera and them kind of players go to the last minute is beyond me, man. The structure of the club, there's no structure. That's what I keep telling you. They should be, every season should be analysed and said, listen, what contracts have we got less than? 2 years. You know what? Let's give this guy another deal. If he's good enough, yes. But for me, only the point Andy Herrera is, for me, you got to look at the point where you say, listen, the guy's asking for 200 grand a week. Where's the assist? Where's the alleged? Where's the assist? For me, heart and soul, does not win you football games and does not win you titles. I want a player. We've got to move on with time. 29, approaching 30. We've got to move in time now. Let him go. Go to PSG and be on the bench. If that's what he wants here, let him go. We can buy ready-made players right now. For me, you get Declan Rice. Go buy him 50 million. Go and get him. He's English. He knows the Premier League. Been 2 seasons now. Go and get him. You got a Dombele sitting there. For me, you have to get a ball-winning midfielder. Go and get someone like getting the ball and play. I love Andy Herrera, but if you look at him and the way he plays, it's always on the side, accommodating. There's not one point where I've seen him make a killer pass, a forward pass. It's a sideways. We don't need that. Him and Matic, for me, need to go. In the summer, there needs to be a way for Matic to go, because he is absolutely horrendous. The way he got bossed in the midfield against Watford, Decore, absolutely ridiculous.
And the fact that he's not even amongst, he's not even been named with the players that should leave the club is beyond me. Like, how is he still at our club? I don't know.
And then all the players you got Bailly, but for me, Bailly could go, because at the end of the day, you know what it is about me? Too many injuries, too inconsistent, too rash, and for me, let him go in the summer. I think we could get good money for him, you know. Yeah, but that's for me. I'm not looking at the players like Jones, because you know why? They're staying. There's no point dilly-dally around this. No one's going to buy them. I do not see one club buying Jones. He's been here how many years now? No one's bought him. Smalling.
I think there will be a club that will buy him eventually. I don't think so, man. If it's not a Premier League team, then a Championship team will come for him.
I don't think so. But yeah.
Listen, let me say something to you. A lot of the United fans, there's a syndrome. There's a new toy syndrome. That's what we call it, bro. It's a new toy syndrome. What's Declan Rice done? Please, anybody help me here. Get on the comments. What is Declan Rice done? What is Declan Rice done? Let me tell you something. Ander Herrera was one of the best players in La Liga before he come to us. At the time, one thing I ever wished about Ander Herrera, we never really truly seen him, and I wish that he came when we had a stability with Ferguson to really see out. And there's nothing for me to point out and say, I have this affiliation. I can only call what I see. A majority of Man United fans, it happens to be some of them of a certain age, right? Over 30 and over. Do you know what I mean? 30 and over, who see what a footballer is. Herrera, in the most instability time, he could have gone. He could have gone. When he got voted the best player of the season, he could have gone. I never seen once Herrera moan about being on a bench, moan about kicking off a fuss. He is the ultimate professional, right? You don't have that kind of guys. The way he speaks about Man United culture, the way he speaks about what Man United, you need to have those kind of guys who are natural leaders in your club. We talk about leaders. I truly believe if he was on that pitch against Wolves, he would have having words. He would have. He's an organizer. What the things that we would all love Pogba to do, but Pogba doesn't do it. Pogba's head goes down because he knows some of these players he's a lot better than. And then when he gives them that pass and then they don't return it or they're not holding it up properly, he gets frustrated. We understand that. Andres Herrera, to me, is a massive loss to Man United. And a Man United that want to rebuild ethos. Because I am not about bringing. Tell me, I'm asking this question. Tell me who's going to do that job. He ain't Declan Rice, mate. You know what? This is another thing as well. You know the crazy thing for me is that some of these people are like, well, Declan Rice is he's played a half a season. He played centre half and then half a season, and all of a sudden because he's English or British, yes, it is.
That's why I said as well.
To me, everybody's getting overhyped. Everybody's getting overhyped. To me, I just genuinely think we might have to buy a different sort of midfielder, more of a holder to replace Matic. But I think Fred might be able to do what Herrera does, right? So I'm not looking to replace Herrera per se, because I think for the hour of the highlights I watched, yes, the mistake, it was David De Gea's mistake because he gave it him and then he give it him again and put him in a difficult position. Yeah. Because people think that it's about you controlling the ball. But if the ball is away from you and you're fighting and somebody else reads it, it's about the passer. The passer should be able to have the intelligence to know not to give you there. And that's the thing I talked about with McTominay. But Herrera leaving, Ashley Young, Chris Smalling staying. I'm sorry to say, it's just our structure. We're not going to be here talking about and moaning about the same points of view, same things as next year, the year after, because if the structure of the football club doesn't get sorted. Juan Mata has been a great servant to us. His numbers through thick and thin have been. Football has moved on now, and obviously the way Oli wants to play doesn't fit, so I understand that. To some extent, I understand Baye, but then I also think if Jones has been getting all these chances all this time, why are we just flipping on Baye just like that? Why are we flipping on him, right? But Damian, obviously Valencia, there was times when I was at the Watford game, I was thinking, please, where's Uncle Tony? Because anything's better than Ashley Young, you know what I mean? I was thinking, bring me Uncle Tony back. Yeah. So it's about the recruitment, it's about the structure, and we are a mess. We are a laughing stock. We're going to keep having to be arguing amongst ourselves when we know the elephant in the room is a football instructor. It's about people who know nothing about football making footballing decisions at our club, and that's a joke.
Well, let us know in the comments below, guys. Let us know what you think about the players that could potentially leave. Talks of Mata, Herrera, Darmian, Baye even leaving. Let us know who you think should stay, who you think should leave the club, and what do you think about the contract situations in terms of Smalling, Jones and Ashley Young signing new contracts and still being at our club, which I think is absolutely shocking. Looking at
they're there 6 years after Fergie. They're there 6 years after Fergie.
It's a long time, you know. 6 years is a very long time. So, yeah, to me it's absolutely shocking. But, yeah, put your comments in, guys, and let us know what you think. Looking at the top four now, Said, what are your thoughts? And you look at the fixtures, there's only, in the table, there's only 3 points separating us in sixth and Tottenham, who are in third. Looking at the different fixtures, I think, on paper, we've got the harder fixtures because we've got Chelsea and we've got City coming up. What are your thoughts on top four? Can we still do it, yes or no?
It's a testament to Ollie, first of all, that we're in this position to talk about it. Because that other guy got...
Absolutely agree.
I remember we was arguing about Eddie Howe becoming manager and we're not making top four. You know what I'm saying? So,
football, man. That's how I was traumatized. I wanted anybody but him.
Look what he is now, man. Look where Bournemouth are now. But for me, you got to shout out to Ollie. Big shout.
I'm still on flip-flop watch, Rude Boy. I'm watching your...
man. It's a testament to Ollie. Yeah. But look at our fixtures, man. I was tweeting out yesterday. We've got to win 5 out of the last 6 games and maybe draw against Man City. But the games I'm looking at, Everton away, they're finding form at the right time.
Yeah.
For me, it always happens. Like, Everton have been a bogey club for me. I remember 2006 when we were 2-0 down, and Rooney and Chris Eagle scored the winner. You know what I mean? Everton have always been a bogey team for me. So you got Everton away, but the key guys are home. West Ham at home, do not count them out.
Yeah.
West Ham could do, on their day, they can be dangerous. But for me, yeah, all we need now, Man United football, we're battling for fourth, man, which makes me sad even talking about it.
Yeah.
But we've got to get Arsenal drop points against Wolves and Everton away this weekend. Tottenham, you know what they are, bottle SC, so hopefully they can do a little bit of bottle.
Do they still have to play City? I think so, yeah.
They still have to face City. And Chelsea as well, man. Chelsea are finally found the right time. That win against Cardiff will give them absolute momentum. Yeah. Everyone's against them. For me, how they won against them is it's another story, absolutely ludicrous. But we need to win 5 out of 6 games. Can Ollie do it? For me, yeah, I want to believe it, and I want to believe it. But the fact that I was looking at the mentality of the players when we go 1-0 down. It's crazy, man. And for me, Ollie's got to do miracles. Martial needs to step up. Jesse Lingard, it was nowhere to be seen against Wolves. Needs to step up. Marcus Rashford, for me, I reckon he's becoming our talisman now. How big is that? Pogba, he's had a few poor games, and I'm going to count him out. People are saying, oh, you're not counting out Pogba. I'm going to count him out. He needs to step up. But we don't need average performances. We need 7 out of 10 every game now. And for me, yeah, we need to win. Barcelona, we need a little bit of a lift, man. Barcelona could be that, but for me, West Ham game will determine where we are. If we draw against West Ham, job done. If it was not job done against Wolves, job done against West Ham, and we can have a long summer of transfers. But I'm going to be optimistic, but for me, it's looking a tall order.
Yeah, for me as well, it's looking very difficult. Before the Wolves game, I said, if we get the win, then I can see us finish third, because if we finish fourth, that was before the Wolves game. I don't want to see us playing these Champions League playoffs at the start of the season. But the way it's going right now, I'm taking those playoff games. You know what I mean? So if we can get fourth, that will be an absolute miracle. And I've said it as well. Everything that's happening at the club right now with Ollie is a bonus. Because remember, we were 8th, guys. We were 8th under the other guy. We were screaming, begging for him to leave. Ollie's come in and turned the club upside down. So everything that's happening right now, even the fact that we're in the Champions League quarterfinals against the Barcelona, that's a bonus.
For me, that's why I'm looking at those 2 games, and I'm thinking that's just a bonus. Whatever. Nobody expects us to beat them. Nobody expects us to win. I hope the players just relax and just give it a go. See, because there's no shame losing to Barcelona. They've been consistent for the past 10 years in the Champions League, bro. You know what I mean? And Messi's Messi, innit? One of the greatest, or probably the greatest footballer. But going back to, we'll be finishing top 4. To me, I remember on the fan cams I was saying we're not going to finish top 4. So to me, what Ollie's done, and I totally agree, before he took the shot at me, you know what I mean, with his Eddie Howe comment, before he come for me. Listen.
You did want it, man. Eddie Howe, you said. Are you mad? That's how I was, man. Average, man.
Listen, that's how I was traumatized by that guy's footballing ability. And for me, the biggest thing was when I go to the stadium, I want to see good football, man. And I would still say now, in terms of attractive football, not about winning percentages or winning football, the way they play, I was happy to pay my good money to go and watch Bournemouth. Then the past 2 years, I watch Man United play. So let's get that out there.
If we compare it, then I understand what you mean.
Yeah, listen, bro. Like I said, I'm different slightly to you both, or maybe to you, Said. It's that I've seen Man United win everything, so I'm relaxed, bro. In my lifetime, I've seen them win everything, every trophy there is. I remember when around the Manchester City Centre, lockdown, bro, when it was a lockdown, 2 million United fans everywhere in these streets. But going back to your question, can we finish top 4? I think because of the way the style of football has changed, the way that we were asking the players to do, the way that this high-octane football was physically affecting the players, and how we just got derailed by the injuries. Yeah. And then we don't have light for light because we don't have a good squad. We don't have a light for light on the bench like other teams have to bring on to be able to get into that system and fit in. I think it's gonna be a tough order. But if you were to ask me, I think maybe it might be a blessing in disguise. Obviously, if you were to ask me now, what would be a blessing in disguise for United to finish 8th, right? United to finish 8th, no Europa League, no Champions League. And then all I know is that the Glazers, every time we're not in the top 4 or we're not going for they spend that money. They spend that money. So all I'm saying to you guys is that maybe it'll be a blessing in disguise. It's not the end of the world if we don't. And if some of these players are thinking, oh, Man United are not in the Champions League, I'm not going to them. It's one season. You're not signing for Man United for one season. You're signing for Man United 3 to 4 year contract, right? Yeah. So me, our club is a mess right now. David De Gea's gone. Mentally, he's gone. The mistakes he made we can clearly saw that. Obviously, he's part of this trio of Spaniards who are really close and tight knit. How much of that is these emerging circumstances that could have been avoided by the club? Unsettling Herrera. Mata should have been more of a dignified way for him to say, Mata, thank you so much for your... Because to me, I would say, I'll be absolutely gutted. I met him a couple of times, not because of that, but because he gives everything when he's on the pitch. But he can't do it, especially the style that Oli wants to play. But Dave De Gea, the way that he's going on right now, is madness. And we need to sort that contract at ASAP. That's the... You can tell that's mentally affecting him. Mentally in games, and obviously for us it's an emotional thing because we know how great it's been for us, so it's harder for us to criticize him, to come out and say these things against him, because we know that when
he saved us so many times.
When we were in the dumps, man, my man was making saves after saves.
GoFundMe account, man. Like you made a GoFundMe account to get Mourinho out, let's make a GoFundMe account for De Gea, because if this guy leaves, man, boy.
I mean, we can always get a top goalkeeper to replace him.
Listen, you know what? Sometimes we might have to find it, but I just want to issue either way. I don't want this tension and then him affecting his performances, especially when we're in a crucial part of the season. So I just want this done, sorted out, done, dusted. But it shows, again, we keep going back to every question you ask, structure of the club, structure, the way we're run. And that's what it comes down to. We're going to be here having the same arguments all day, every day, if we don't solve that, if we don't get footballing people in place. And yeah, we have to take the pain. And like I said, to all those flip-floppers who were on Twitter and on the social saying, Oli, listen, you give this guy 18 months. 18 months' time, I will be able to tell you if Oli's the right guy for us to continue or if he's not. To me, I'm waiting for a big pre-season from him. I'm genuinely hoping that we get the players that we need and the players that he spots. And this is now where Oli earns his money. Yeah. This is where, if he wants to be a legend, some people are just like I said it, some people think he's going to believe in, he's going to be like holding us to ransom like Jose Mourinho, asking for 20 million payout. That's not going to happen. If the shit is the fan, Oli will leave himself because he's a United fan. He won't want to damage the club like that. So I'm not worried about that. So the day he realizes I can't do this anymore, he will go. That's why I'm relaxed, right? I'm relaxed. And he's not that arrogant enough to know him, to know that he's not that type of guy. He will put the club first always. Yeah. But I think we need to get a structure around him, help him. And the fans, like I said on last week's show, patience is the key. We need to be patient. We're going to have up and downs. Yeah, we've had an amazing ride on the Oli's at the wheel. Now we've hit the rough patch. We can continue, like I said, and sometimes it might be a blessing in disguise because the Glazers will have to come out and spend money.
Definitely. Let's get to some of your questions now that that you guys sent us on social media. The first one is
Shout
from...
out to all those people sending the questions, by the way. Shout out, man.
The first one is from @ManLikeMemphis1. He says, isn't it important that United get left-back competition for sure? He's the only natural left-back. Plus, what do you think of United being one of the worst teams at attacking set pieces, always hitting the first man from corners? Set piece specialists could add a crucial dimension.
Real talk, man. Real talk. The first bit's on Shaw, yeah?
Yeah, that's your guy, then. That's your guy, innit?
You know what, man? You know what?
What are you saying? What are you saying about Shaw?
That's your best friend, innit?
There's two parts to this again. I'm going to give a shout out to Shaw last couple of games. He's proved me wrong. He started...
Player of the month, sir. Say it. Player of the month. Say it.
2 assists, player of the month. Man United just give that for fun anyway. Let's just get out there.
Listen.
Man United get that for fun out there. But Shaw, credit to him. Last couple of games, I've seen a different Shaw. I've seen a Shaw.
Respect on his name.
I've seen a Shaw attacking. I've seen a Shaw trying. I've seen a Shaw trying to link up the play, transitioning well. The ball he gave to Rashford. You know what I'm saying? But for me, Man United Football Club should always have competition for football. Competition for place is absolutely paramount. I'm looking at Martial here now, as well. There should be a left winger targeting him because he looks sloppy. He looks like he doesn't care. He looks comfortable. I don't like comfortableness. Get a left back in the summer that can get Chilwell in summer. Let's see what happens down there. Back to back, who's going to get the money? If Shaw says, you know what, I'm going to own this and I'm going to perform well. That's what we want. And going to what's the other question?
The other question is, should we get a dead ball specialist in because it's crucial on attacking set pieces? We always hit the first man, and there's no one there to.
Ashley Young, yeah, I don't know what he does in training. You know when you have training, and you on FIFA, when you have that little person in there, Bro, that is him, yo. Every time, yeah, it hits him. I think he does something. I think he has a little.
Shout out to those people in my generation who don't not on FIFA that too hot. I don't know what he's talking about.
You must go on FIFA and say, you know what, man? I love hitting it on that, you know, because it never ever reaches it always reaches the first man every single time. Dalot, I think he'll get there. I reckon Dalot. I've seen his dead ball specialist. Absolutely unbelievable. The ball he gave it to Lukaku. The one on the weekend. Do you see the one on
I've seen the one.
Wolves? Absolutely brilliant. But yes, again, the club have always had it. Ronaldo, Beckham. You know what I mean? Them kind of man. So yes, I agree with that one.
I think we've already got that player in the squad. It's Andreas Pereira. Andreas Pereira can whip a ball in. He can take free kicks and corners. We just need to try to find him a position in the team to be able to fit him into that kind of structure. In terms of what the second, sure. Listen, I said to you, and I said the kid has been consistent. It's unfortunate now because he's going to be suspended for the next game.
I think it'll be a big miss.
I definitely agree with Saeed, even though I'm having shots at him with his, with it come down and show that competition for places is healthy. Like having like for like. And them battling it out, it is because you're going to get injuries, you're going to get players being fatigued, you're going to get a loss of form. So definitely, nobody in the team, not one person in the team should be able to be comfortable, except for your goalkeeper, and you think maybe do two centre-halves really, because they need to have an understanding of playing together. Those three positions really should be the stable position, but it's the 7 other players, right? You know what I mean? Like, or 8 other players in that team should not be resting on their morals. So competition, when it's fierce, I see a couple of good left back and right backs in the youth team. Are we going to be patient enough for them to get here? Can we promote one of them next season? That might be a question. So we don't always have to go and buy these players. We've got to look at, maybe we've got gems in our own youth team, and that's the thing I think we need to look at. And I think Ollie will look at that more than any other manager.
All right, let's take another question. Why? Sorry, it's from at UTD Road 1878. He says why are our front three why is our front three immune to criticism? We have spent so much on them, yet they are inconsistent. Only Rashford has improved this year. Lukaku, Lingard, Martial and Sanchez have all regressed.
Listen, you know what? I would say that Martial, the injuries have messed him up since the PhD game. He's not been the same player, I would say, because he's a player that needs Man United to control the midfield for him to make the runs. Man United have to control the midfield, and Ollie's giving him specific instructions. He's telling him to hug the touchline so that it creates space for Pogba to play, in the middle, and Luke Shaw for him to be able to play. And listen, because that's his demeanour, bro. His demeanour is like that. There are certain footballers. Do you remember Berbatov? How many of you remember
he can be bothered. He looked like he's
not bothered. So there are certain footballers where we look at their body language and think, you're not even bothered, man.
Same with Ozil. Ozil looks like that as well, but he's a class player.
So what I'm saying to you is that's what we've got to be the thing with. To me, he's not immune. Nobody's immune from criticism. Bringing him on, this is where I have criticism of Ollie. When he took Delot off, he should not have took Delot off, because Delot was giving us balance on the right-hand side against Wolves, even when we went down to 10 men. And I think bringing on Jones lost a header anyway, and then the guy scored anyway. So I don't know why you're bringing on
the memes again, bro.
Listen, I don't know why you're relying on Jones to try to bail you out, right? He doesn't even score. Like, when was the last time Jones scored a header for United in a crucial, like a set piece or whatever? Like most of the centre backs in big teams do, right? So, and I think bringing Martial on in that when he's coming back from injury and sticking him up front, where the only option to the ball what we will not control in the midfield, is ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. So if there's areas to criticise these players, we will criticise them. But yes, emotionally there are certain players who bailed us out. And to me, Martial, he's had this up and down system with Jose, and we know what that guy did to him. But since Ollie's come in, he's been consistent. Since he got injured, he's been inconsistent. And sometimes a loss of form will happen. But I am going to see Martial when he gets a proper pre-season with Ollie, where he gets a proper introduction, and then we will test next season. There is nobody for me immune from criticism. Pogba, if you don't pull his winches, get rid, mate. See you later. If you're doing that to us, no, I'm not chilling out. I'm telling it as it is. There isn't any player that's immune from criticism, because before I was sticking up for them all because I knew what Jose was doing to them psychologically, how he was bullying, how he was manipulating them. That ain't happening under Ollie. So all of them for me, I'm on them. I'm on them, and I said that.
What about you? Is our front three immune to criticism?
No, they shouldn't be, man. Get me. Martial, for me, I want to get back on this guy, yeah? You know what it is, yeah? I don't like that argument where you need a couple of games after injury. I've seen players come back from injury, straight away hit the ball running. Maybe
players are different, though.
I
It's
know,
not every player.
okay, players are different. But for me, Martial off the ball needs absolutely working on. All I need to say to him, when you're off the ball, yeah, you need to make the runs. You need to go chase the defender, go press the defender. He's got his gloves on in March. Who does that, man? He's got his gloves on, yeah, and then he's got short sleeves on. Who does that?
He looks cold, though.
Bro, it was
like,
cold.
when you see him,
I was roasting, man.
when you see him with the gloves and you see him with the fresh trim, bro, that looks cold.
No, I was roasted on Saturday, bro. Nah, don't give the excuses. It's 2019 and you're giving that kind of excuses, man. Come on, Aaron, man. Absolutely joke. But for me,
I'm joking.
I want to get my guy. I want to get on the back on that Martial off the ball. He needs to work harder. For me, the amount of yo, we got Ty in the building.
Go on.
But we got the point where Mata had the ball. There was acres of space. Martial, get yourself in there. Make risk. If you don't make it and then they end up attacking, don't worry. At least you put yourself a knock to the ball. So just want to wrap up on that. Martial needs to do better. On the front three need to do better.
All right, guys, that was it. Another episode of United Talk. Thanks for joining me, guys.
You know what? Shout out Jalando's in Manchester City Centre. Yo, shout them out. Nice
Shout out
food.
Chilango, man, for having us.
Right here,
You know what?
Shout
Shout out all
Chilango.
of the staff. Shout out to the people, man, that, you know what I mean, feeding us. Nice place. Check it out. It's on Oxford Road if you know Manchester. Just past the McDonald's, you know what? Turn into Oxford Road from Portland Street. Check out Chilango. Get some Mexican flavours in here, man.
Exactly. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on your channels. Yo, there's certain things I've got to preserve, but soon come. Trust me.
What about you,
We're going to be
Zaid?
seeing him run for the Prime Minister, knowing that Meg's
Where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, man, on Twitter at realist_187, and you know where I am on YouTube at United Central, man, bringing the biggest vlogs, biggest match day previews. You know where I am.
Yes, guys, make sure you add that up on us. Add him on the social story, and obviously you can find me, Mr. Aaron United, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Mr. Aaron UTD. It's been a pleasure, guys.
Yo, subscribe, man.
Subscribe to the channel, share the video, like the video as well.
Comments, get in the comments.
Get your views and comments in the boxes below.
Who do you agree with? You see that cheap shot? You see that cheap shot? Hey, cheap shot, man. Yeah, see that?
He wanted Eddie Howe as manager, man. You can never listen to Nurdin again, but look.
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Same place, same
I watch
time.
Bournemouth every day, all day, bro. After that dull football Mourinho was serving up, mate.
All right, guys, see you. Peace.
Peace.